eyes be like they're gonna bleed. No rest for God's time's running out. Yeah, on my own, here we go. Good job of training. I'm gonna talk to you in a bit. I'm gonna go live. I'm live right now, actually. Live. It's all good. My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. No rest for God's time's running out. Yeah, on my own, here we go. I mean, I should start putting. I'm gonna try this right now. I'm gonna start updating my shit when I'm going live. I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep but running out. Yeah, on my own. Here we go. If I do it like this, get the link.
In the playoffs, you need to find that extra gear. The betting is live, and the
Shut up. Alright, let's put this in. We're gonna get going in just a second if you're on here. Ooh. Sure this isn't live. Let's see if I got. Pending Corb. Accept. Why does it still say? Oh, it's do not disturb. He's sleeping. I thought that was like showing he was blocked or something. Jock. We'll accept that one. Accept that. Accept. I gotta tell you guys a crazy story from real football. Get your guys' take on it. Alright, so I got that link. Let's go into X. Post. All the pros and cons. Every football game versus goals. They're on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Post. Alright, and then let's share it in the goals deal. I never do this. I never share this stuff. Alright, so videos and upload. Share your streams. I think that share your goals, sorry. Streams. Share streams. Bada bing. Alright, there's that. We in there, baby. God, Kick has so many bots, bro. Kick, I'm glad you don't have ads, man, but your bots are annoying. Alright. So here's the deal, guys. I've been playing I always do this at the start. We might as well keep doing it, right? I go through these ranks. And, I want to try to clarify, too. Because when I was in that little beef, which was bullshit, we already know, shit's going to be said back and forth where if you're in, like, war mode, you're not going to agree with your opposition, let's say. So some of it's just that. So you can't take too much of that stuff. But it is true that I doubt, like, what I mean by ranks doesn't matter, and then I show it all the time. It's like, dude, you just got to be honest with yourself. Like, when I'm looking at this, because I aspire to be like certain players that are above, because they're sick, bro, right? In anything, it's like competing in football and you're a striker and maybe you're in the third, fourth place team, or even second place, and like it would be like a new and upcoming striker that's a young stud for, I don't know, Arsenal, but his favorite player has always been Haaland. Like, he loves how Haaland plays. It's kind of like that, right? So as I'm competing, and then I see my name within among these ranks, even though I know it's alpha, and the biggest thing about alpha is improving, right? I'd much rather become a better player for full release than just keep winning, and say, like, relying on AI defense, relying on all crosses, relying on lofted through balls. But at the same time, it's cool as hell when you see all these people that are ballers, and you're, like, right there with them from, Law, I Am French, Ronald, and all these guys, right? And I never had that in any other football game, bro. So I see that as a pro, because as this community builds out, you're kind of seeing the mold of these legendary players take shape. Some of them have streams and channels and stuff, many don't, which I strongly encourage a lot of these guys to start your own stuff, man. Who cares? Like, you don't need 1 million subscribers and 1 million followers, bro. Like, even just being a legendary player on a game and sharing good gameplay for a small group. I mean, obviously it takes some time to set up, but if you're playing anyway and you love to play, who cares? Like let's say you do it. The reason I started this, it was UFL was just coming out, and I was climbing the ranks fast. So I got up to like top 10 in the world, and a lot of players were having problems because at the start, it was full manual defense. As crazy as it sounds, even more manual than, like, goals defense is pretty hard. When you face a beast dribbler, especially with the shielding and how strong it is, it's hard, dude. That's one of my favorite reasons to play Cord, because he mimics pretty well a lot of these top dribblers. Like, I Am French was beastly at it. All these top players are. And you can get better and better by facing it. But in goals, many people are having problems, and it literally started off with helping them on what I was doing to be defensively strong. That was helping me climb the ranks. Literally didn't care if it was like 3 people that I talked to, because I was talking to them on PSN just after I played them, a few people. And I started like with a small community like that, nothing, no promotion, didn't know what I was doing, dude. Still don't even all the way, obviously. I'm not like an expert at any of this stuff. But it started as that, and then next thing you know, like 5 became 50, 50 became 500, 500 became, and then obviously as you get up, it gets a little harder. But this has always just been about sharing my passion for football and football games. So if anybody sees this, whether you're in these top ranks and you just want to share your stuff with, even if it's just a few people, or maybe you're way down here, but you're hilarious as hell, kind of like a Castro. Or just you have a great time playing, you want to share your passion with other people. Not everybody's just going to be at these top levels. Maybe you're not even on this list, and that's fine too. But yeah, I strongly encourage you, don't be scared if you want to share content. Don't worry about people. You're always going to have your haters that, oh, you have 5 subs, you have 5 people that watch you. Who gives a crap? If you love a game or love something, start content. So that's a little side note. But I have never played a game where like this was like, no, it was known all these players are on the top. Like, I could name a lot of these players in the top 50, whether I've talked to them personally and they're great people, very knowledgeable about the game and football, or just players I have never talked to but played against, and I have a lot of respect because they're very skilled, clearly very good footballers. Just their decision making, you can tell that. That's a cool feeling to know the people. And I want to keep talking about them because hopefully as this community builds out, that helps shape the community. Like, you match up with these players and you know they have a backstory. There's like, I feel like FC has done a terrible job with that. They try to get better at it in some areas with Anders and Tex and some of the stuff, but the way that they do everything, it's just, there's a lot of dead personalities. And EA Sports, I feel like, just didn't capitalize on that at all. So eFootball, same way. Like the way they do their pro scene, or like they treat their top players, it's just, I don't know, even if you're not going to be a top player, it's cool to watch the game at that highest level. Same reason we all love football. We play football and then we go watch these incredible players, whether in person at the stadiums and stuff or on TV. It's insane watching these sports played at that high level. So anyway, with that being said, going into the point of this whole video, we have an abundance of football games at the moment. Let me get this off here real quick. Pouring down rain, so you're probably going to hear that a bit. I don't know how loud, but I apologize. So we have an abundance of football games to choose from. You can see all of them on console here, except for Rematch. Now, I'm not going to include Rematch in this pros and cons, not because it isn't a great game. I know a ton of people enjoy it, and I'm sure I would too if I, were to dig into it more. But I am more for true football, right? Obviously, Rematch is you control one player, you go in, and you match up with other people and you climb the ranks that way, which is cool. And for all I don't know as much, they could have changed it up where there's a mode where you control your whole team, right? So if that's the case, I apologize. I'm just not speaking on Rematch because I don't know enough about it to give it a fair shake, but I also didn't want to not mention it. So when it comes to the football games that I know and that are for sure 11v11 that try to be true football sims, you obviously have FC 26, just barely older than eFootball, formerly PES, Winning 11, International Superstar Soccer, all the other names, right? So these are the OGs. Then the former new kid on the block that's still a youngster in the game, right, is UFL. And of course, now we have Goals, which is an alpha. Now, there's this Netflix thing going on with FIFA, and many people are confusing it. I know I talked to my boy Boomfa. Shout out to Boomfa. He was mistaken that it was supposed to be like a full-on game because they said that, but that's false advertising. It's literally going to be a mobile type of game where they say, oh, you can use your phone as a controller if you're playing on TV and stuff. So it's not a full-on game. Almost positively, though, we will have some type of FIFA true football game coming, whether it's 2K that does it or somebody else. However, why Goals has captured my attention so much before we go into these other games, and then as we go through them, we'll compare it to where Goals stands in that area, right? But the reason why Goals captured my attention so much is because, first and foremost, the development team. Not only do these guys go and get some incredible football gamers themselves, right, including the best to ever play any football game. If you don't believe me, go check out highlights from when Kurt 0411 was playing, right? Then you obviously have Stallion, and not only that, but thanks to Marceau's content, you get to see a huge team of some incredible devs in other areas that are just very well known in their field. So they went out and got some incredible people, right? It's why when you go in, you can see the work that's put in, the detail in the stats, all the different games that you've played. Doesn't matter how many games you play, keeping all the information that you can only see in other games, like right after that game and then it goes away. All your different stats are kept. They have the best person in the business or best team in the business for that. That part's incredible, right? I mean, I can go into any game. Obviously, this is the overview. Then I can go into any game and click in. Let's say I want to see, you got to go to a game that was finished completely. Otherwise, obviously, the stats are incomplete. But from match events to the rivalry, you can see how many times you played this person. I had no idea that I played this person twice. There I see it. The analytics, right? And then this one's my favorite. All the key areas of the game, from the overall ratings, expected goals, expected assists, goals, minutes played, shots on target, key passes, completed passes, defense with the tackles and interceptions. That's incredible for every single game. No other game has done that. Not only that, but their own player system where every player is not only unique to goals but unique to your team. And people don't understand what went into making sure that there's so many unique players, right? That there's an actual system to the upgrades and to how these players are created and come to be into your team, and then you see how many upgrades they get, and you eventually, on some of them, they're busts and they end up being, players that you just sell for points. But some you'll turn into absolute beasts. And this is the whole story behind it. I read that yesterday, so I won't go into it. But this is the kind of stuff that makes you truly start at least giving some respect to goals and what they do to create an incredible football game, right? And we're not even done there. If you look at the attributes, which not all of them are live yet. Another reason why when I say rank doesn't matter, it's more that the game's not complete yet, so things are going to change. So when you go into player attributes, right, every single attribute ties into what you see on the pitch. And then at full release, when all of these attributes are activated, including more that aren't activated, what you get is an incredibly deep, true to football experience with your decisions and your opponent's decisions at the forefront, not AI that are filling in the gaps from areas that, these other development teams couldn't figure out how to make the player do. Not animations that fill in the gaps where these other development teams couldn't figure out how to make the players responsible. It's your decisions, your opponent's decisions. Your tools are your team. You learn your team's strengths and weaknesses. I went through earlier online with Narf, otherwise known as Coates, and Korb, and we just went through my whole roster, and they helped me find a good setup to use this 3-5-2 with the right players. Just looking at all the stats, like this is going to be a beast of a player. She has 2 upgrades, and she's already a monster, a Maul Angle, right? And the fact that each of these players is uniquely, created, and then they have their own little characteristics, their own personality. Just this little tidbit alone: a fiery competitor, she's a lightning fast defender with aggression and strength to shut down any attack. Known for her blistering pace and bone-crunching tackles, she dominates opponents with relentless intensity. She's a formidable force on the pitch. And then sometimes it will say, even though his or her weak foot lets them down, or even though they are pretty shy, not very aggressive, and it ties into their stats. Like, these little things matter. Just like the limitless opportunity these guys have to make some excellent customization, right? Their stadium atmosphere is second to none, and they can have tons more stadiums, tons more backdrops, right? Then you also have the kits that they can get creative with, the boots, anything. The sky's the limit because it's their creation, it's their world. It's not, we have to have the exact tattoos that the players have, and Neymar got a new face tattoo, we got to add it to the game, or the new kits, so then you get the kits that you can get in real life. It's all their world, which is awesome to me because it's such a breath of fresh air. Every other game, which we're about to see, does the same type of thing where they try to take advantage of the icons and all that. And even though I still love all these players in real life, the R9s, the Hullets, the Henrys, everybody, Maldinis, the Jop Stoms, and I still am a Man U fan through and through, despite all the crap, going on. R.I.P. Amorim, one of my favorite managers that my favorite club ruined, right? But it doesn't mean that when I'm playing my football on the sticks and it's about me competing versus others, that I want the same repetitive thing over and over and over. And we'll start with the creator of this madness, right? You have to give EA Sports and FC credit because they created this Ultimate Team mode. And if I'm not mistaken, it was more EA Sports than FIFA, formerly FIFA when it started, now FC, that had the first Ultimate Team. It's just in that process they realized like FIFA would be the best game for us. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was hockey. It was NHL that had the first Ultimate Team. Could be mistaken, but I think that was the true OG. And then FIFA took over. Now that could be totally wrong. FIFA could have been the OG and then they extended it to Madden and hockey and everything else. Either way, because of this mode, it created a frenzy for gamers, not just football gamers. It transcends the sport. There's so many different times where you see rappers or racers or NFL American football players or whoever that have an Ultimate Team, right? And just because FIFA's the most popular, though, they might even play eFootball but call it FIFA. Now, the bottom line is actual football gamers, when you dive into it, you realize there's a lot of bad things in this mode now. There's a lot of darkness behind the community, right? Those same things that I mistakenly thought about certain members in this community are 100% the case and happening in the FC community. Understood? So the bottom line is this game had its last chance for many a long time ago. For players like me, and I know others relate, just wanting to give it a chance because it's the OG. I still remember when I first got that first FIFA, I believe it was 94, way back on the Sega, right? And to have a game go that long, meaning that every era of my life has been, I've been playing this game, and then other football games came along the way. But to see the greed, to see the disconnection between the development team and the players, to see all the mistakes every step of the way, it's pretty sad. Now, when you look into the menus, right, many players would think this is a good thing. From the SBCs, you have the draft mode, which eFootball is crazy not to have. We'll get into that game by game, right? You see the evolutions that are actually newer. There's a lot here. Then there's obviously the rewards that people obsess over, going into the store and opening the new packs that you got from awards that you finished and completing SBCs. There's just so many different things that are in the menus that people get addicted to, and you could say that's a positive thing, but here's where the negative comes in as I open all these things. And there's no doubt there's certain players that left FC for all the BS, but that are watching this and kind of excited because they haven't seen this in a long time or done this in a long time, right? So the bottom line is it does get addicting, but where it went bad is that they started taking the focus away from the pitch where it should have been on the pitch the entire time. That's the issue, right? And so what happened then was every year that they put football on the back burner, every single year the game just kept getting worse and worse. That's where the problem is. And we're to the point where not only is the football BS, whether it's the AI defending that they can't seem to get away from. Every time they go away from it, they go back to it, right? Whether it's that, the terrible metas where every time there's some broken way to play, everybody's got to mirror it or you'll get your butt whooped, right? We remember the 4-3-2-1 from a few years back. 4-3-2-1 was just, if you didn't use it, you were getting stomped on. Then it became the 4-2-1-3 that Anders made very popular. Now it's the 4-5-1 where you just sit back, park the bus, counter through balls, right? Each year there's those broken players or the broken body types. This year it's Claudio Pena. A few years back, remember when it was Van Dijk, to the point where you literally had your best chance of scoring by taking a random shot, getting a corner, and finishing on a near post corner flick on from Van Dijk. Right? Every year there's something broken, and none of that is actual football. We just deal with that type of thing over and over and over in this game every single year. And I think the only reason that this game has stayed from going like just completely crashing is both their depth in the menus that people are addicted to, and the fact that this is the OG. This is the game many of us have played more than any other game, right? But when you look at the actual football on the pitch, which we're going to go into here shortly, and ignore the menu stuff, you realize why it's such an empty feeling, right? You've seen Nick share videos like that, and other content creators share the same feelings where it's like, I can't put my finger on it, but the game just doesn't feel right. Well, the reason why is because it's not the same. The football on the pitch just isn't enjoyable anymore. That's just the bottom line. It's just not enjoyable anymore. You can open these packs all you want, but once you get onto the pitch, the football that you play isn't the same. I mean, look at all this stuff. There's so much stuff in here that you can get and that keeps people busy in here. But at the end of the day, you can put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. So when you get into the actual football, which we're about to do right now, we'll actually go straight into it's been so long that I can't even we'll go straight into Rivals. Remember the last one I got a win after not playing a while. We'll see what happens here. Full Evolution Squad, if you remember trying to make the game fun, because it died so quick after they destroyed the game on the pitch with all the patches, right? It was nothing like it was in beta and at full release, and it still is not, right? This is where we're at now, right? And this was a while ago now, where I made this team to try to make the game fun, and even though it was cool doing the evolutions, even that couldn't make up for the terrible football. So we've talked about the menus. You have to give a pro to FC for the menus, even though overall I think it's a negative because it distracts people away from the terrible football decisions being made by FC. We'll call it a pro, but I think that Goals is in a great spot to have a good balance, and apparently they have a market system. Now I think it's just going to be something where, hey, you have this unique player in your team, but that player is so good that others might want to buy them on the market, and maybe you don't need that player. Maybe you have 3 center backs, but you need a wing mid. So you put one of those center backs up on the market that's like, say, an epic, and then maybe you go buy 2 beastly rares. So it's a cool thing, and they can create a system that's not as broken as FC. So I like the idea. Now, I could be totally wrong on where they're going with the open market in Goals, but I don't see them ruining it as bad as FC. But for now, we'll give the pro and the menus as far as like challenges, rewards, SBCs, that part of it, we'll give that to FC. Now, how about on the pitch as far as the football goes, right? You have all the licenses, all the real kits. You have the more realistic look to the players with the tattoos and all the sweat and different stuff that you can't even see, all those details. So it's more just about the overall look from the camera angle when you're playing. I don't care about the up close, right? Which is why the artwork is so silly to talk about in Goals, because when you're playing, it's about this. It's about the football. It's about how it feels. Outside of the fact that, typically speaking, the connection is terrible, which, by the way, the pro on that one, or the point on that one, goes to Goals, because in Goals they have a totally unique netcode that makes for great connection no matter where. See how the ping's 17? Well, in Alpha, I'm playing players from all over the world. I can have 150 ping in Goals and have a perfect connection, whereas if I had the 150 ping in FC, right, it would be terrible. So it allows you to play more players all over the world, so it allows for more widespread matchmaking, because obviously FC has to do it based on location and like rank and stuff, so sometimes it gets limited. Now there's enough players where the wait time still isn't bad, unlike UFL, which the wait time gets terrible, even eFootball a little bit. But still, it's a huge plus to know every time you go into a Goals game, the gameplay isn't going to affect whether you win or lose, right? So obviously the connection part you have to give to FC, for without a doubt. The connection part, consistent gameplay / connection, command delay, all that, you have to give the plus to Goals. And it's not even a question. That's every single game. Goals has the best connection. They're the only team with that, any type of netcode They totally broke the mold by doing that. I don't know all the technical terms, but you guys get where I'm going. Now the actual football part, right? Remember, this game isn't an alpha. So where they have a leg up, see that attacking AI, right? Which I'm not even saying theirs is the best of every football game. I do believe they're beating eFootball, right? Especially in the manual ability with the sending runs and stuff. Like, I don't like player lock because I think it's too unrealistic, like goalkeeper movement. But triggering runs is needed, so I'm glad goals went with that. However, where FC does have them beaten, where I wish that I hope goes down more of that angle is when you're in goals and you're nearing the attack, your players don't have realistic movement. So obviously it's not just linear, the runs. All you can control in goals is sending your player forward or to the ball, right? Either away from the ball or to the ball. There's movement that's mixed around, and same with defense. They have to do something with that. I believe they have the ability, but that's what's really hurting them now. Like, you see when I have this ball in the attack, my attackers aren't just standing there, and they're not just going to come right to me or run away. Like, I could even send them out, see? And create this type of play. Go back post with it. And then also the precision shooting as well. I wish goals would do something with that because they have incredible finishing. The animations of finishing, it's so good. I would hope they would do something like that, right? But we have to work on the attacking and defensive AI, of course. And then maybe the ability to trigger runs, not just to and from the ball, but also diagonally. Like this. Like, you see that, how I push Hansen away at an angle. Same there. Even though that was a silly pass. But again, this is full release, a game that's been out longer than any other football game. That ability to manual defend, and you see, like, based on your stats is how well you can tackle there. Goals has that down pretty good. I'll show you the shoulder challenge that I hope they add without all the play styles and nonsense that makes it pretty unrealistic, right? But other than that, I'm goals all the way. Not just for the fact that way better community, way better connection every game, right? If I play 10 games of FC, I'll be lucky to get 2 or 3 great connection games. And it only gets worse and worse. Like, once you try to play champs, you can't even move. I have a video coming out on that. Is that tomorrow? I think, yeah, tomorrow. You'll actually see that tomorrow. The net code and all that. Let me make sure that's the case. I believe it is. It is. Yeah, tomorrow you'll see the net code. Then I also have a video coming out on the secret weapon 352. But anyway. So yeah, that's the only place I'd give FC credit is the attacking and defensive AI. But they are also in full release. Been out for years and years. Goals still in alpha. I know some people are saying, and it's a valid point, that in goals, if they plan on dropping in like 6 months, like they're saying, to have the attacking AI or lack thereof at this point, it's a pretty scary sign. But that doesn't mean that they don't have something in the works. Similar to the market, they say that it's working behind the scenes. They just are waiting to drop it. So just because it's not in the game doesn't mean they don't have something cooking. They simply haven't added it yet. Right? So that's me sending my players on a diagonal run. That's what I'm hoping they add in goals. And I'd have to actually test that because I haven't even tried to flick the right stick, but I'm pretty sure you can't. So you can either turn that on or off. So like right here, I press L1 and then I push her away, and it shows you the direction they're going. And I think they changed this, but for a while your opponent could see that arrow too. It was so silly. I think they fixed it. But I hope they can add more than just to and from when you're moving your player. And once you do that, you are good to go and you're smoking FC. Because no matter how sharp you might think this looks with all the little details and everything, at the end of the day, Half the time, you have the worst command delay, can barely even move your players, feel like they're stuck in the mud. You literally have to use women's players because they're the only players that are small enough where you can at least somewhat feel normal, and even that doesn't feel as good. It's just so much nonsense, right? Like this game in itself right here, if this is how every game felt, of course. But I've done this a million times, guys. I've done this a million times. Some of my community has seen it firsthand. I mean, the connection is so inconsistent in this game, you never know. Imagine a game where you want to have fun, you want to enjoy it, but every time you turn it on, it's a roll of the dice every single game, every single session on whether you can even play the game how it's meant. L1 and then right stick flick, whatever direction you want the player to run. So watch this. So I want her to run right, boom. It didn't go, watch. Got it. Look, boom, boom. See? And then it'll show you the direction she's running. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. See how I switched the direction? And it just gives you the angle they're running at so you know where to play the ball at. But remember, only Goals has it where you can't see, like, my opponent can see the triangle over each of these players' heads. I just don't even know how this opponent... I don't even know what division I am because I haven't played. This has got to be lower. I haven't played this game in months and months and months. So, in the menus, you'll say FC, but simply because Goals is an alpha. They haven't had everything they've added. Once they have the open market, it'll be better. We'll see what they can come up with. Obviously, with the real-life players, you have the ability for drafts and things like that, but... like even a game like eFootball didn't even take advantage of that. So, and it's not like it's a popular mode in FC, and I think it's because they have way too much going on in FC, to the point where some players feel overwhelmed and actually want to leave the game because it's too much. And they're like, dude, all these players can get these crazy rewards and stuff, but you got to play 1,000,000 hours to keep up. And a lot of people simply can't do that, right? So when you're playing FC, it's a mixture of that overwhelming feeling, right? That FOMO, that fear of missing out, too much attention to off the pitch nonsense that takes away from what they need to do on the pitch, which I know there's that brand new patch, and the defense, it does feel pretty good right now. But it's not going to matter when half the time you have terrible consistency, right? You can't even move correctly. They don't have a unique netcode. They don't have added servers, right? They don't have an updated game engine. Goals built their game with all this stuff in mind. You better believe it. They wanted a smooth connection game because remember, some of those devs are coming from FC and even the FC Pro thing where it's a huge deal to have good connection, and you're sitting there trying to qualify for Pro and you can't even play the game right. It's glitching out. It's terrible. From game to game, it's different. Right? So really it's just the attacking AI, the defensive AI, and other than that, just the ability to, and I gotta test moving the right stick, but the ability to trigger runs other than forward and back, like diagonally too, would be awesome. And then the shoulder challenge, I think this opponent's gonna quit, but if they don't, I'll show you what I want, the shoulder challenge I'd like to see in Goals, and I have an idea how they could do it. You add in aggression, strength, as well as standing tackle, and it becomes an average of those. Nice goal. They might have even nerfed it because I tried it there like 3 times and my player wouldn't do it. Not to mention, we can't forget about the BS in this game where there's all those shortcuts that you can do, right? Park the bus, go for the counter through ball stuff, go full press, try to run through defenders, run into them, put a big guy up top, sprint in a straight line. If there's a certain body type player, it's just, there's so much non-football stuff that goes into this that takes away from it. I want to defend him so I can, here we go, perfect. So watch. Well, every time I try the shoulder challenge, I'm getting scored on. I'll do it again real quick, though. Oh my gosh, they can't help themselves. See how they just knocked me out the ball? Let me try it again. I could swear they've nerfed it with this patch. I don't know for sure because I don't know about the patch, but... What a ball. Let's try a shoulder challenge again. See? That right there. Just that little bump. And I know they have something like that, but it's not the same. Although, it seems like they've nerfed the crap out of it in FC maybe. Can he do that dummy run in goals? I don't think you can yet. With R1, they got to add that too. And obviously the super cancel. And I hate their free kick systems a little too much. It's a little too... Oh my gosh, he's not even marking here. Look at this. What the... Well, I messed that up, but... Well, I think they might have took their shoulder challenge out. So maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? Maybe we listen to FC and say, hey, the shoulder challenge was bad. I think theirs got out of hand where you could be 10 yards away, and that's not what I want anyway. But it just feels like we're missing something like that. But look, I can't get a shoulder challenge to save my life. So here I am trying to show you something I don't think it exists in this game anymore. Interesting. So even as this game is being played, right, and I'm destroying this opponent, I'd much rather, like, goals is just way better. Way more fulfilling. It just feels empty. Whether it's because I know this game and in the what's going to hold me back down the road or what, you know. I think I made this player not like FC very much. Alright. So now we go into the next game. So some people would see that and go, really? You're choosing goals over that? Yeah. A game that's in alpha stage, that's way more your decision, not leaning on play styles or play style pluses or any animations, just you playing football, yes. 1,000%. The fact that every stat matters and then it's not about, like I said, all the other nonsense, right? If they can just get goals, don't copy the attacking and defensive movement, right? The attacking, defensive, IQ, AI, whatever. Do your own, but they have to improve the movement from AI and attacking and defense to make it more realistic. Because players are never just standing there waiting for and the runs aren't just to and from the player with the ball. And then, so they have to do something about that. And then the ability when you trigger runs to go in any direction you want by flicking the right stick. Says it's just not fun. No. Nope. It's just not. I can go through, this is Division 4, I could steamroll through this. You see my team's a million miles behind the power curve, and win game after game just like that, and it just is not, just would not be fun. If you remember that last draft game I did where I was smoking that opponent, then he subbed in Sorloth, Holland, parked the bus, received it, through ball, received it, through ball. Like, there's always nonsense you're going to face in these games, right? So once you get into the open market and everything that Goals is adding, not to mention the 5v5, which is incredible. You can dig into that if you want a little something different to like curb you away from the 11v11 stuff. But they're going to have like the tournaments. They're going to have ranked, and they have this knockout thing. They have this thing more for instant rewards. So you don't have to wait every single week you play, and that's going to be very competitive, which is very cool. Right, what's this? What am I seeing here? Oh, music. Okay. Wait a second. Boomfoot, can you hear music? I hope not, because that's going to copyright this. I thought I turned it off. Can you hear the music or no? Like the EA music? You can't? You cannot? Okay, good. Thanks, Narf. Okay, good. So that's me. That's my opinion on FC. Now we go into eFootball. Now remember too, in FC, even though you don't need like eFootball where it's like, okay, you either free to play or you got to pay a ton of money to get the players, right? You can have a pretty good team with evolutions and players you pack. I pack, for instance, Graham Hansen. You still are paying money every year, and then you got to pay $10 for the team pass, and like they're gonna have something in Goals because they got to make their money. But just, I feel like the game is too far gone, too far into like the toxic level with what they've driven, how they've pushed the game. Everyone's addicted to rewards to the point where they don't even care about the football on the pitch. They care about getting wins. Will do anything to get those wins. And then you get bad football. You have the connection issues. They're not speaking about getting updating their game engine. They can't do something with the coding. Like, they can't undo what makes the game feel so inconsistent and heavy. Forget dealing with all that, because no matter how good, there's always going to be those games in FC where you're like, man, this feels good, this feels sharp, and you've played it so long that you're like, man, just like I had a little bit in that game. And then you know what's coming, though. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. You know you'll have that 1 or 2 or 3 good games, almost like EA Sports purposely does it. And then next thing you know, you go to play Champs, and like you're 3 games in and you can't move. And then you have 8 games where your hands are just hurting because the controller's so, like, the delay is so bad, right? So my boy, shout out Coates, aka Narf, on YouTube. Thank you, brother. Thanks, Narf. I appreciate it. Says that they finally came up off Smart Assist, which is a huge W, because I've always said that the truest football is actually in eFootball. Now this is pre-Goals, right? Truest football has always been in eFootball. Back in the PES days, they were the true football. FIFA was the arcade, right? But they went so far down. Not the animations. Oh, of course, a new treasure link. Not the animations, but they went to AI, like where FC is more arcade animation heavy. Look at this crazy skill move. They added that spinning flick on. I could have showed you guys with Graham in that game. They add all like the flair and stuff, right? Konami is stuck to like pure football, but the problem is the AI does most of it, right? Which is insane. It's just insane that that's what they chose to do. So, menu grind, they've definitely improved. But if you play eFootball, you know that you play the events. You can't even use your team that half the people, like say you spend your money to get all these players. With the restrictions, you can't even use all your players. So that part sucks, right? Like, if you guys seen the latest events game, I could use my Brazil players like Romario, Rivaldo, but I couldn't use my other ones. So then you play 1 or 2 events, and other than that, it's back to ranked. Already just in alpha mode, Goals has No, the same is exactly what eFootball is. You have the tournaments, right, with repeatable rewards, but goals repeatable rewards are better, and then you have rank. It's just not enough. And then the depth in these silly things off the pitch, FC definitely has these guys. Now we'll see where goals goes when they get their open market, when they get the different rewards. Like, I can't wait for my goals rewards just to pack players to see if I can get some beast upgrades. Everybody wants that beastly upgrade, right? And then if you get to the market where you can start trading players and stuff and move up, maybe you need badly 2 wingers and you have an insane legendary center back. You sell that center back for, 100,000 points and you go get 250,000 point wing backs. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm imagining it's something like that, which is cool. Yeah, eFootball is definitely. So FC is arcade, eFootball is AI heavy arcade. But as far as like underneath all the BS, the truest form of football is in keeping goals aside because it's in alpha, is in eFootball. Like when you're pinging the ball up, back, through is moving, but then they also have the goofiest stuff. Like the how long it takes to power up each pass and shot, the stupid goalie animations where the goalie should easily cover the ball and they make some goofy like rebound. I mean, it gets real crazy. Then the money it takes to have the best players is absolutely insane. Like you see that I put my nation as Japan because apparently you get better rewards. But this Shevchenko card, by the way, is one of the broken cards. Kaká, not so much. But this Mbappe is, of course, broken. And this Shevchenko. These 2 cards are broken. Now, think of how crazy this is. Right? And there's players, by the way. Let's see if I get a free spin here. Nope, I get contracts. I get a chance at Jack Grealish, eh? Nope, I don't have that. If you look at my team, I have Zlatan, I have Romario, I have all these amazing players, right? But would I love to get like Mbappe or Shevchenko who's broken? Yeah, of course. But you're talking hundreds of dollars and you're not guaranteed. I could put 50, 60, 80, $100 like I did for Romario, and you are not guaranteed. There should be a certain amount of money where you can then pick the player. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, you wanna take a chance, then take a chance for $10 or 20 or whatever. But if you want to guarantee yourself any pick you want, $50. If you want to guarantee yourself 2 picks, $70. If you want all 3 players guaranteed, give us $80 or something like that. This craziness that they do, right? We'll do these chance deals real quick, where it's all a gamble, is insane. It's just absolutely insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. So let's look at this box right here. They call them boxes, right? 200 players, right? Each of these 10-man spins is roughly $10. Okay? So that means I can put up to what? Each 10 players is, let's just say, $10. So that's what? 200 players. But it's not exactly 200. Let's say how much it is for real. Like 170, Boomfa, what would you say? Because it's not exactly. But let's just we'll round down even to make them look better. $150. It's more than that. But we'll say $150 to get all 4 of these players. Right? And the problem is they don't have a market or anything. So you either get them or you don't know when they're going to come again. Well, guess what? They always re-release players, but the next one's going to be a little bit better. Then the next one's a little bit better. And eventually, the players that you spend all this money on, they go, past the power curve, and then you have to update your team. But you see my team right here. There's not one of these players that I don't want, right? I mean, look at this team. But would I love to have Mbappe? Of course. Would I love to have Shevchenko? Yes, they're all legends. But there's no open market. Like, once you get Zlatan, you have Zlatan. Now, I don't want to keep spending money, spending more. So, you better believe a $180 player like Romario, I'm going to keep him in there for a long time. But it's going to get boring because, like in FC, you can switch up your team, switch up your players. Here's the other thing. If you guys didn't notice the shadiness that eFootball will do, they will change their versions of their game Allegedly not for this reason, but to tie to these different players coming out. There might be a head ball meta, and cha-ching, they release a new link-up play that fits Jan Kohler, the king of headers in this game, right? And guess what comes out right when they release that link-up play? A Jan Kohler and a David Beckham with edge crossing and bullet header. Then, with Mbappe coming in and Shevchenko, they might do a link-up play like a 1-2 or something with... You see what I'm saying, though. So then you can have these beast players that you spend hundreds of dollars on, and yet, right? And yet, they're going to just change up the version next week or release two just a little bit better players. It's a money grab scam. So forget about even the football. FC has came away from that some because of all the heat, but they still have an outdated game engine, terrible servers, so you're not getting consistent gameplay, and it's just way too much AI shit, way too much bullshit that takes away from the football. You have to use their meta, the one meta formation that's the most powerful. Everyone works on it, they figure it out, share the tactics, and those tactics are the best way you have to win, right? Then you have the mirror matches because every year there's certain players that are OP. This year it's Claudio Pena, and then on the defense it's certain center backs and certain that everyone wants, right? And then the players that can't afford the highest caliber, whether it's like, say, Maldini, R9 up top, you go to the next level down, and then you get, like, Mbappe is always in there, but if you can't afford Mbappe, then it might be whoever, right? It's always about that meta body type, the meta formation. And then in eFootball, right, it's just an entire money grab central deal, and then Smart Assist. I'm not even going to play a game in this one, because Smart Assist disqualifies eFootball as far as I'm concerned, right? Not to mention, with all due respect to my eFootball guys, they love the game. eFootball has some truly loyal fans, but they were kind of, my boy Prodigy in particular, who I respect. We go at it all the time, and I haven't seen him speak up in a while. He I don't know if he's so disappointed in the game or what, but he played goals, and I think my boy Phil said this too. But then Phil, I mean, that they're entitled to their opinion, but Prodigy did it more in like a condescending way, I feel like, where it was like, oh, goals is just a cartoon arcade game. If they keep going, it has a chance to be the best arcade game, but not true football. I don't think they're even trying for that. That was the most misguided, untrue statement ever. But when I look at eFootball, it's not even close to the sharpness. Like, if you're trying to look like realistic, it's not even close to the sharpness of FC, in my opinion. To me, it's got kind of a throwback look to it. But looks don't even mean nothing. But when I'm in these menus and looking at all this stuff, I kind of get like old school is what I think. I don't think of like state-of-the-art, cutting edge. It's just not what I'm seeing here. But if I were to go play, well, let's try one more. We went for 2 goes. We got to go maybe one more here. Let's see, verse AI. Unless those... There we go. No one plays these ones. Let's see, Spanish clubs. Is the first one 50 coins on these? Let's see. Of course, and it freezes on me. All these other games have those issues. And goals never has. Do you guys know I haven't had one game drop in goals? I haven't had one game drop. The most I had was a little what I thought was delayed, but people are telling me it probably wasn't even delay. It's like, I forgot what they were saying, but the little tiniest things that throw you off in goals here and there. But no drop games, right? I mean, it's so sharp and so fluid. I'll sit there and play 15 games in goals like it's nothing, and then I'll only stop because I have to go do something, In FC and eFootball and stuff, why does everyone have that feeling where it's like everyone knows what I'm talking about, where you're kind of forced to play because it's just not fun. Right? Let's go in here. Let's see the... Oh, this one you don't even get points. Only this one, so 50 points are available. I've lost 2. Let's choose a different team, though. Let's go with Brazil. Who do I have? I have Romario. I have Zlatan for Sweden. Van Dijk, Thuram. Who are some ballers that I have? Italy. Because I got like Baggio in them. Let's just check it out and see. Baggio, Gattuso, Maldini, Otto. See anybody else? Center back. Buongiorno. Barella. Oh man, this is going to be kind of rough with these guys, but we'll try for it. Nah, dude, I got to go with Brazil. This is crazy. We'll go with them. Forget it. Let's just go with them. And then let's do this too. Now I'll do it in game. But to me, it doesn't even compare. I feel like eFootballers, there's no way I would still be in this. The only ones that I see staying around are like, I put so much money, like my boy Phil's like, man, I put so much money in. But he truly has invested his time in, and he truly is a good player. If everyone played like let's say Boomfa and Phil in like our eFootball community, it would be a much better game. We have a very solid group of players that try to play pure football and eFootball. But it gets old playing against Smart Assist that's affecting your players too, and then losing to these players just gets old. Man, it takes forever. You could probably play, I'm assuming it would be like 12 goals games to like 4 eFootball games. Now, I will say I do kind of like the ability. I know they're not going to go that route because they want it quick, fast moving, like keep your attention span, TikTok brain type of deal in goals. But I wish they did have more towards like, you've seen your opponent's players and their stats. You've seen, okay, we gotta man mark this player. We gotta, obviously to do that they need way better attacking and defensive AI. But I wish they would do more of that, because their attributes and the way they tie in the game fits perfectly, but their whole like make it fast system doesn't really fit the mold for like having more of an eFootball less tactical side, where eFootball did a good job of creating a skill gap on the tactical side. Like the decisions you make, four bars is better. Last 2 games I had 2. But see, you don't got to worry about that ever in goals. And I think a lot of players, including myself, like unless you check back in with these games, you kind of take some of these things for granted. The defensive system in eFootball is a complete joke. Like you try to defend yourself in eFootball and you get smoked. It's all AI. It's all AI. Failed to connect. You get that all the time in this game. It's crazy. I feel like people are just getting sick of Smart Assist too. And just because there's so many players, that area FC is always going to be king. Like no matter, you can play 24/7 anytime. You're going to have instant games always. The time that I've had the most wait is in tournaments, because they had so many players, they were able to make it where, like if I'm in a final, I can only face another player in a final. If I'm facing a player where like they have the mini objective of first player to score a goal, you face only another player that has that same objective. Like they have so many players that they restrict it, and that in those games you'll have some more waiting time, but not nearly what it is. Like eFootball, this is crazy. These wait times are crazy. This never used to be the case. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I'd already be at halftime of a goals game right now. We might even skip the game part on this. But I wanted to get the coins and then do my one free spin for old Mbappe or Shevchenko or whoever. Matchmaking failed. This is unbelievable. Welcome to Welcome to eFootball, guys. I mean, you're seeing it firsthand. This is the stuff you got to deal with. It's crazy. We'll try one last time and then we're out. You just want to play football and then boom, you get this crap. It's so funny that the kindergarten level of these tips. Literally, it's like, if you score more goals than your opponents, you will win the game. To score a goal, you want to put the ball in between the post and underneath the crossbar. Of course, it's got to go past the line and past the goalkeeper. If this one fails too, dude. Hey, we got a game. It only took 17 hours. All right, so we got some Italianos, Platini's in there, Baggio. Wait, I don't remember Platini, guys. Did I not have Platini? Platini's French. I'm an idiot. Platini's French. Don't chastise me, please. Platini sounds Italian. Come on, but he's a French mofo. I know. I always mistake him in my head. I don't know why for a Italian. Platini. Free to play Batistuta, who is a beast. I have him as well. Free to play Julian and Messi. So free to play, I got Baggio leading the way. Baggio should lead us to victory. The Gnarling Dogs back there. They do their legendary players the best of any game, though. I will say that. So let's get into eFootball. It's going to be a smart assist ridden game. I'm going to turn mine off so you can see the difference. I almost have no doubt my opponent will use it. But we are going to not use it. Zlati. Yeah, this is my stadium. I did do this with the red and the black. And then the little stuff like the boost, the willpower, whatever it's called, the boost for Zlatan, where his first 8 shots get a boost to 90% chance of scoring. Like stuff like that adds. Like, dude, that's crazy. Smart assist off. Because I was showing you guys what it's like with it on. Now you'll see what it's like with it off, and I'm almost guaranteeing my opponent will have it on. Foul. The fouls are so weak in this game too. It's such a different feel than FC. It's like how could a sport that's the same feel so different? Ah. Bravo. Hold it up. That was kind of goofy, wasn't it? Look at this. See ya. See ya. Goal. Baggio. Keane's going to hold it up. Baggio's going to be a through every time. You watch. Only took me 3 tries to get a win, though. The first one, though, I played a top 300 player, which was hilarious because he was awful, bro. Because half the top-ranked players are using AI to get them wins, which is pathetic. Imagine that, bro. Imagine you need AI to make your decisions for you and you call yourself a top player. Boom, 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 boom. You're in, Ratigi. Oh, outran like a son of a gun. Yeah, FC, I'm not going to lie, it felt pretty solid that game, but I know that the connection's so inconsistent. But eFootball, dude, the feel of goals is just so much better. So much more fluid, still true to football, no AI assistance, the defense is all you. The sharp movements and all these moves and stuff that I'm doing is even though I have Smart Assist off, it's like it feels like more AI, you know? Like the move itself, I don't know, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Like I feel like goals won't add any skill moves that just totally that can be spammed or that, you know, like I'll show you like the super what do they call it? The double touch, the super double touch or whatever it's called is super OP. So you make sure each of your players have that. 1-to-1. Nope, what a save. Pressure, pressure. Did you guys see that throw? What was that throw? Good. Good strength. Boom. Oh, get that through. Good football. See what I'm saying, though? You do have the ability to play some pretty good football in this game. Passing movement, it's just too much AI control. Now, if they do remove Smart Assist and stuff, it's going to be a little competition for goals for sure. I still see goals being able to overtake them, especially with the ability to have like the best esports setup. Because goals is even worse. Like goals, pro scene, and like just their esports side of things. Even just for look at that. That's a Smart Assist ball to the full. The eFootball like competitive scene is non-existent. Like they have the pro scene, which is terrible, but even just tournaments for like sign-ups and stuff, even right now goals is crushing it with that ability. Oh no, I might have counted my chickens before I hatched, guys. All because he has Smart Assist on though. I'll actually probably show you the difference in second half and play with Smart Assist on. Look at that ball. I've never seen more clearances. You never see more clearances than you do in eFootball. Look at that. No Smart Assist needed, boys. No Smart Assist needed. I love those new Italian national team jerseys with the gold, by the way. Those are pretty dope. Man, my players are already dead, dude. Because I went one red line. No, I was regular. Why are my players all dead already? Boom. Lay it back. Yep, Baggio through. Tried out back and through. Didn't work out there. Good block. Thanks, Capello. Oh shit, oh shit. At least he didn't throw it like last time. Look at this. There's the no AI ball. If I had Smart... Oh my god, it's still going to be perfect. But if that was Smart Assist, that's a goal, by the way. The fact that you can turn... It's even worse in here than like goals. Because the Smart Assist makes your through ball... And I get it. In goals, there's a lock on too, so it's pretty bad. But dude, Smart Assist, believe it or not, is even worse. Even on that one, my attacker would step in front of the defender automatically. It's just crazy. To have so many players that use it too, and it's just such a better feeling when you're doing it, even though the automatic AI is a lot. It's crazy that players would even want to use it. Turn on the press, eh? Oh, you lucky little. Alright, watch this. Watch how we do this one now. Now watch what it does. This is what your opponents can do, though. And then this is what will happen. I'm going to do it to show you. Mind you, this is why I would never ever play this game. Because this is what will happen. You'll be beating someone. Now watch how this changes. Ready? Just turn Smart Assist on. Now watch how this game changes. Guarantee it's over with. Guarantee it. Guarantee it's over with. Because these devs feel like there needs to be help for players, I guess. I don't know. Watch this. Every ball is going to be perfect every time. As a ball's not perfect, of course. This is what you'll face. You'll start beating players, and this is what you'll face. Perfect ball every time. Watch. See what I'm saying? How crazy is that, guys? Perfect ball every time. Look at this. That's every time with AI. Or sorry, Smart Assist. So it's even if you're not a piece of crap and you actually want to enjoy good football. Oh, well, Konami gave it to us. Don't be mad at me. I'm just playing. How annoyed would you be if you're way better than your opponent and you're just playing and then this happens? Because that's what he's using is Smart Assist. So it's like, I'll play without it. They'll turn it on. Do you know how many players that same thing happens to where they could easily beat the player? They want to do it mano a mano, but they're not good enough to beat their opponent when their opponent has Smart Assist. So they turn it on and the opponent gets whooped. It's just a joke that it's even a thing. It's a joke that it's even a thing. See, if I didn't have that on, I pressed X there. That would have been I would have probably kicked it to him again for a tap in because he's spamming crosses, which are OP in this game too. But the difference is, goals is in alpha. This is a full release game. It's just awful, this game, bro. I can't even describe to you how awful this game is. Look at that. Smart Assist. Smart Assist. It's just sickening. How did they ever think this was a good idea? Is it because their players are so bad that they had to do this to, like, make them happy because the game was too hard? Like, what in the... How did they let it get to this? A game that had such a good reputation for being true to football. No, don't even get me started about this. Goal. Because it's going to be perfect every time. Oh, not quite. Close, though. Oh. King. Chase it down, King. Look at that. Oh my God, guys. Is that a joke? And then they slow it up and speed you up. How is anybody playing this game, bro? Guys, go attention all eFootball players. Come to goals, even just just play one day. Learn how to play some matches. You will never come back to this garbage again. Unless you like, oh yeah, of course. Look at this. What is this? What was that? You will never come back to this nonsense again. This is unbearable. I can't believe how bad this game is. How did King get through there? It slowed the defender down, but then once he got the ball, it slowed my attacker down. It's like, what is going on? Look at this. It's just insanity. Oh, here comes the crosses that they always do. The OP crosses that come. Look at this. It's going to be perfect, probably. Nope. Not that one, at least. Read that one, at least. Hey, I did something myself. Watch this. Once the King goes, watch. Oh, no. He actually played that one bad. I thought it was going to end up being perfect. Look at that, dude. Isn't that insane? It's going to be just a little off, but that's the game. Oh, it's disgusting, bro. Okay, so there we go. So then you do that. Now remember, that's only 50 coins, and then that's it. And then next week I'd have to win another one of those. Luckily, I already had it. And then you get this. This is what you get out of this. You ready for this? I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't even know what that is or what's going on. But anyways. So there we go. So I got those points. I never know what's going on. Like, what's this? Okay, so I got that. Good. Missions. Somehow I got like 2 of these. Okay. And then we go into contracts. So 2 weeks, you win 2 games if you don't want to put money in, and then you get this. 1 time, 1 player. I have a 1 in 200 chance at getting someone. So boom, all that time just to get that. Boom, I quick sell them, and that's it. Oh, well, good luck next time. Good luck next time. That's pretty much my only free shot at these players. Good luck at ever getting someone. Like, you have to have lottery type of luck if you don't want to put in money. It's insanity. It's insanity. So it's not even a contest. Then the final game we go into is UFL. So FC felt pretty sharp, but it's a roll of the dice to know if you're ever going to turn on the game and get a great game or if it's going to be terrible connection. There's so much crap going on that the focus on the pitch, right, has been abandoned for so long that the football is just not there, right? It's in such a bad state. The metas are always terrible. It's always about some OP play style or some OP body type instead of about the actual decision making in the football, right? And just like eFootball is damn near disqualified from being in the discussion because of Smart Assist, which let's say they do get rid of it, great. If they do anything but get rid of it, they're still disqualified. But technically, FC should be disqualified because until they update their game engine / do something about their servers, right, it can't be in the mix because you don't know what kind of game you're going to get every time you turn on the console or whatever, even PC. And it's the same with UFL. That's had terrible delay lately. Terrible. The word is, allegedly, they closed down a bunch of servers across the world, which is never a good sign. But whatever it is, from the start of the game to now, it's became terrible. The connection. And it's always similar to eFootball, but different, right? It's a gambling system, but it's a gambling system in the sense of you might need just a striker, and then you have a pack where the striker you want's in there, but about 10 other players. So the only way you're going to get that striker, for instance, I'll show you real quick. If I go into the store, I might want, let's say I just need a right winger and I want that Elise card. I just want Elise out of this whole pack. Well, I'll put in money, and there's like, oh, you get a guaranteed one of those 3 within whatever, let's say 5 packs that you open. Well, each of these packs, guys, is like $5, right? So think about that. So you might have to spend $25, and guess what? You might already have a center mid, so you don't need Modric. You might already have a right back, so you don't need Timber. You only want Elise. And there's duplicates too. I had it where I was going for Haaland, and I got 2 of these Salas. I'll show you my team. I got 2 of these Salas, and then I got like, where is he at? Probably on my bench somewhere. I got like 3 of another card before I got him. So you can get duplicates. So it's not like, hey, if you spend $75, you're guaranteed out of the 3 guaranteed players to get Haaland. No. I got 2 Salas and then like 3 of another card before I ever got the Haaland that I wanted. I was going for a different one. This is a different Haaland. So you're not even guaranteed. So you might put $150 in and still not get that one card that you want out of your pack. It's the biggest money grub, broken bullshit ever. Not to mention the game's over because once you spend money to get the Supreme packs, which are now gone, which were all players like 94 rated. This is one of the worst ones, but 94 rated players. Those are the best players. They're better than even all these icon players. And then, not to mention, once you get 11 icons, like you have these players here, these icons, now you have a coaches in there as well. Once you get to 11 of them where you're guaranteed the mid one for, let's say, $15 so you don't have to spend as much money, then what are you going to do? You just get your 11 icons and that's it. You don't worry about it anymore. Then until another icon comes, you spend another 15. But your team building's pretty much done once there's 11 icons out. It's a complete joke. It is a complete joke. And I'm not even going to play the game in this one because this game is broken as hell too. That's disqualified because there's glitches in the game that take away from it. Any game where you can hold down a super sprint that doesn't... What is that? Nobody has a rocket up their ass to go faster. Only in UFL. Only in eFootball can you turn on AI assistance. Right? Only in FC can you put your depth at a certain area, stay away from manual. Now that the defense did feel way better since the defensive nerf, so you got to give FC credit there. That version of FC that I just played has felt better than any other one. But you've tricked me 7 million times. There's no way I'm going for even one more time. You guys had the best game you've had in a long time during the beta, and you guys sold your souls to whatever I don't know what, like, how do you mess that up from that beta? You had the worst game ever last year. You do something good this year. You come out with a beta that's great, and you fuck it all up. But even if you didn't fuck it up, guess what else fucked it up? Your terrible servers and your outdated game engine because you won't take the time to go do anything about it. Complete joke. Complete joke. Complete and utter joke. So, here we are back in alpha. Not even bothering to play that joke of a game, bro. Not even bothered. So the only thing that I want to change, though, is this. And again, when people are like, why are you so happy about goals and you're not criticizing them as much? Because it's in alpha. Remember at UFL, I was the same way. I kept giving them the benefit of the doubt until full release, until after they started fucking up. But by full release, I'm hoping that this doesn't happen where I'm at my max rewards. Right? Which means each game I can only get minimal stuff when I'm playing goals. You see what I'm saying? Each stuff I can only get minimal rewards. I'm definitely not going to get within 3 days. How many days is it? 3 days I'm not going to get 179 SR to get to Division 1. That will be sick. But the monsters that are ahead, this is like Elite Division, but not pros. To me, it's like almost like an elite and then pro separation in goals is what I see. Right? Because the D1 monsters, let's even go look. D1 you have to get wait, what is it? To get, let me look. 100, so 200. 2,200 and higher. So let's see how many D2, D1 players there are. 2,200 or higher. $18 Division 1 players in the world. That's it. That's crazy. Recca 99, Yo, Ink, Selcho, Poopy Diapers, Team AC, Obi, Tactic 1, Warren G, Puigish, Yodara, Deo. I've played Deo before. I'm almost positive. Neren, Marceau, Joe, Jack Andre, and then Marky. And just so you know, like half of these guys were the fuckers that he told me were bullies and terrible people that attacked me for just wanting to be in the group. And think about that, bro. I damn near was at war with like most of the best players in the world in goals. What the fuck, dude? That dude set me on a course for a crazy, like, it's just crazy, bro. Shout out to like people like Corb is amazing, dude. Like helping me with my team earlier, playing. All those matches have been great. Ronald's cool as hell. He's wild, dude, but it's like funny, dude. You just got to get to like internet, get to know him. Like obviously I haven't met him in person, but I'm starting to see his straightforward talking and like he's cool and he's obviously a good player. Like these guys are all great people, dude. You can't say that about every game. So yeah. So I maxed out my rewards. I'm not going to get 200 points. So really, I'm limited there. Whereas like in FC, I could play like, obviously you're not going to have, in goals, you're not going to have a draft because it's all made up players. So it wouldn't be cool. That's fine. You can definitely do stuff like the different tournaments. You could do that knockout mode that they talked about. There's a 5v5 that's pretty cool. Oh, Boomfa, that was... So, do you remember that guy in here that said Frost? It was like Frost Kuwait. Well, apparently back then his name was like Breeze. So, it wasn't even a different guy. But he came into my private messages and he's like, hey, man. He's like, I know you love this game, but these guys are bullies. I was playing. I love goals. I found... the goals Discord. It was fun. He didn't even tell me he had a Discord. He kicked people out. He was racist. All this shit. He didn't say none of that. He was like a bullied, scared kid is what he came off. And he's like, there's tons of people they've chased away. And they're just afraid to come forward. It would really be cool if like I stood up to him and like, probably because I have a channel and that way I could blast him out on that. And then he started like liking on myself. Like, you're the true goals guy. These guys are terrible. They're just doing this to make fun of people, and you know, but he was under a different name, and these guys guessed who it was. Well, I just thought, okay, they're really bad bullies. They know this particular person. But Ronald had trolled and made up an account, and he let it ride for days where he acted like another guy that was hurt by these guys. The problem was when Ronald did that, it made me believe this Frost guy more because I'm like, damn, that's two different people that are definitely hurt by these guys. That's crazy to... You get what I'm saying? So, nobody likes bullies. It's like, alright, it's war. You got these two guys. Who knows how many more are going to come out of the woodwork. This is like the first day I got these messages. Boom. By the end of the day, there's two. Which is why, if you remember, if you ever heard me like, hey, I know you guys are in here. You don't have to be afraid. You can private message me. I'll never say your names. I'm talking to Ghost. I didn't know that, obviously. So, and it turns out that half of these guys that he was like, this guy's terrible, this guy's terrible. So I just start blocking them, going after them. When I played them, I'm totally just, it's not even playing football. It's about, you know how it is when you're like war with what you think are bullies. But it's hilarious only in the sense that they're all these original guys that have been helping the game out, that have been playing the game a long time, that are very good players. It's just crazy to me that happened like that. But it's funny, too, if you look at it, like, it was sold perfectly only because all the pieces came together the right way for that dude. But Ronald had all this stuff, and bro, you can see about two posts from this guy from before to tell he was not a bullied kid that just was trying to like be part of goals and have fun. It was like he had his own Discord and shit like that, and then he was like bullying other people, but adding in some fucked up stuff with it. Now it's when you're joking amongst your friends, stuff is said. I get that, bro, but don't play a character faking like that you were treated terribly and it just messed you up so bad when you weren't that at all, just to sucker me and then block, or not block, but run away and delete all your accounts when the shit starts falling down. And I even was defending him after, because really it really started unfolding with Marky on that call, but it wasn't quite enough, and so I still had this dude's back. And then by the end of the second stream, I could never even confront him. So if you're out there, bro, you know, I don't know what to say to you. I'm not gonna kick you when you're down, but that's some fuckery. Just totally trying to put my channel on, you know, because that's a big deal, bro. I love this game. You know, I've been promoting the shit out of it, and then putting me on course on a fake war with these guys that are trying to help the game too, and at the top, that's fucked up. Dude, it was crazy. It was crazy, dude. So I just can't be so naive, and I gotta watch who I help and defend and shit, and just but he sold it really well. So alright. So yeah, so we're maxed out on rewards there. But we got these tournaments. And the cool thing about these, obviously, I wish if the solo ones had more, like, you know, I'm not opposed to playing these. Oh, this one has 100K. And a blue, dude, this is the one we gotta play. I've been missing this one, so this one only has greens. The 1v1, I only get a green and 100K. Alright, this is gonna be boring. But, hold on, change squad, copy, set active. This is going to be boring as a mug, but epic or higher, max 3 epics. So I got to get rid of 5 cards. So, bada bing. I have a feeling that this is going to be really easy, but we'll talk some other stuff, and like, I might find a cool video about epics. Wait, epics. Oh, I gotta get rid of you. I wanted to test her over there. Okay. So that's why Marky said they were trolling. So yeah, so basically that was the #1 player, right? The dude's amazing, like amazing at goals, otherworldly. And how do I know? Because I played Marceau, who's amazing, and then they say Marky's on another level than that, which is insane. And yeah, so he was telling me this, but you gotta think at the time, I'm like, this dude's just backtracking and lying. And remember, Frost was in that, like, that dude's lying to you, dude, he's full of shit and all that, you know.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be reacting and watching a video I found titled "The Best Team of the Year Packs," and it's kind of a little bit more retro. There was one that was more recent, but I feel
so yeah. As he was telling me, I don't know, the first one where it was like that message about the pills, like, which was supposedly directed, like the dude's on medication for issues, and then Marky says that's really fucked up. But it turns out that was just a general statement. Like if you were being crazy, Boom, for like, bro, did you take your pills, bro? You're acting crazy, right? You see what I'm saying? A general statement that's far different than like pointing out a personal flaw that someone like. It just was a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors, put it that way. But that started the dominoes falling. But then Ronald had actual screenshots of some crazy shit that was said, like in a Discord and then in Marceau's stream, that was really, really, really fucked. Really fucked up. And it showed that he was not some innocent, like, dude at all. Yeah, this is going to be really boring to watch because... Oh, I could try to trigger those runs. I think they're only in straight line, though. Let's see. Yeah, it's only a straight line. That's going to be cool if they add it where you can, like, if I can make this run diagonal, offsides, instead of straight forward and back. Yeah, it was cool. It worked out. And it barely worked out because for a while, I would just, like, block Ronald, see some of the stuff. Because the minute I started coming after them, of course, they're going to start coming after me. So then there wasn't any, like, reasonable talk. And to be fair, I wasn't hearing it at all anyway. The second I was like, you know, I was sold on it because I saw the messages. But then I had to realize, bro, I've had rats do that to me where I'm going back and forth with them. They're trying to ruin a game. They're saying shit. The one dude called Phil the N-word because me and Phil were playing. I had one of the rats on. He hears Phil start saying it, so I say stuff back. Well, he clips it and puts it on Reddit, right? And then it's like, you know how that goes, bro. And then the whole story isn't told, and then they play the victim. It's kind of what this dude did, basically. Like, if I sit here at Boomfin, I'm like, I doxed you and I looked up your family. Let's just make that up. And I'm like making fun of your family, saying all these horrible things. So you come back and say what the hell? Oh, it hit the water bottle, I guess. And then you come back and say horrible things. But the minute you start saying them, I clip it right where you started. Post that up. Say, look at this terrible person. Right? Even though if people knew the start of it, they would understand. You see what I'm saying? It was kind of like that. Both with the rats and kind of what this guy did to those guys. Exactly. That other dude was Ronald pretending. So once I found that out, that Corky dude wasn't real, it made me realize, like, wait a second. So that means there's only Frost, because he said all these people would come out of the woodwork. But the two came real quick, because you got to remember, Frost sent me this stuff, and then pretty quickly Corky came out of the woodwork. So I'm like, oh, Frost is telling the truth. Like, speak up and more people will come out. The only thing I've ever seen is that there's a couple people saying that it can get kind of fucked up in, like, say, the Discord. The hell? A little bit, but it is what it is. I guess you're entitled to your opinion, but I saw one earlier where a dude said, why would you guys host a tournament when, I'll let you guys read it, but it was like, why would you guys host a tournament when the game's in this state? And it's like, well, bro, it's an alpha stage, so what are you trying to say? Like, I'd still rather play this than other football games. And then I said, like, watching these guys play, they showcase the game in the right way. And, like, for instance, like, one of the biggest problems is, let's say, the through balls. Well, playing those top players and or watching them helps you see that even without the AI being at a place where it needs to be for the attacking movement, defensive movement, you can still play some football, moving the ball on the ground, play some great football. And he asked me to elaborate on the through ball nonsense, but that's what I meant is like, you don't have to hoof it every time. It's not like, oh, well, there's no attacking AI, that's why. Like, yes, the attacking AI is seriously lacking, but you can still get creative and move the ball and play some great football in this. So I'll give you the example. So you see an FC where you win the ball, right? Because this is AI. But you win the ball, and the players will be moving. You see how in goals they're kind of just standing still. There's a little movement, but not much, right? They're not moving too much. They're standing in the wrong place. They're standing by defenders. You got to have players that are like checking hard to the ball, that are moving, that you can, that are like not standing right behind the defender right next to him, that are moving into the correct space. And then you can manipulate their runs from there. But sometimes they're so out of position that they push themselves out of even being a viable passing option. Yeah, exactly. It shows they're confident for sure. Goals is confident because no other game would have put it out this early and had tournaments and have great highlights to showcase. Like this one that Brad shared with me, this goal mark he scored in 5v5. Brad's another OG player. Dude, it was like one of the best goals I've ever seen in my life, Boomfa. Like the dude is got the ball around right here. It's 5v5, so the opponent's literally like all 5 players converge on him. And he does a drag back and like a quick push through the little hole that he created by doing this. Boom, boom. Let me see if I can recreate the little hole. Not 5 guys, but like he was like going through here. He goes boom, boom, through that hole, right? But he did it through 5 guys and buried it. But a perfect upper 90. It was so sick, dude. I shared it, but the problem was it went to the whole showed the whole 5v5. It didn't stay at that exact clip. Somehow Brad got it to clip exactly where. Tape it. What? Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Don't boo me when I'm down. Are there tournaments 1v1, 5v5, or both? 1v1 and 5v5, yep. They've had some official ones and then some that Marceau hosts. But I can't wait, dude. Their world championships are going to be so sick because, dude, it's all you making the game good and making the decisions. It's all the players. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, in a good way, ridiculous. Like, the way they're... Dude, there's just 3 skill moves in this son of a gun. 3 skill moves right now. And honestly, with the AI lacking, it makes for great creativity that you get to see and, like, really just see how these players create chances and stuff. Which is pretty insane. Bro, I didn't even realize I could get a rare out of this tournament. See how my player just kind of stopped there too? Like, that's not... Like, your AI's got to be better than that. Unless they have like a... They wouldn't even be professional footballers if they, they're playing at this level if they would stop on something like that. Now, I know a lot of people would see my game in FC earlier, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold you at all. That was fun earlier in FC. It felt super good. The defense, they definitely fixed it in the right way, but if you know, you know. Like, FC will disappoint you every time. Yeah, so people aren't liking the, oh my god, their finishing is so good in this game, bro. Like, they have finishing. Whoever your shooting people are, dude, salute. Wait, what the hell? Oh, I forgot you could even do that. I didn't even mean to at first. So Maddie's curling shots are insane. Silly. Forced it. Ah! Terrible D, dude. See, I gotta work on my D big time. Dude, that was one area where that Marceau was sick, bro. He just knew where I was going every time. If that went in, I was going to say, what the fuck. That Vlodabed King, though, there's this one top-ranked player. That dude goes, I got to practice those. That certain angle they go to, I'm going to do that the rest of these games. That low, Corb did it the one time, too. That low driven from that kind of tighter angle into the corner. Get in. Yeah, that's where that video came from, too. I still wonder if those guys caught that sarcasm in that. So, there was a stream where that dude, he's like, he's an absolute monster. Like, he's the guy that leads it all, talking about Marceau. So, that's why I did that monster thing. I'm wondering if those guys caught that or if they knew. I know a couple of them were in the stream, but they might wonder, like, what the fuck is this? But that's why I said, like, this guy is a monster. I was playing on that. Just as a kind of one final joke. I know some of them knew about it because when I first put that thumbnail up, it got deleted. Because I think they thought, like, he's saying this guy's a monster, like he's a bad person. Like, attacking someone instead of giving them, like, you're a monster on the pitch. But the dude that was calling them bullies said that about him. So that's where I came up with that. It's more like an inside joke, I guess you could say. Boom! I was just looking at the views on it. That's what made me think of it. Alright, 2 more games and we get a rare. What about this last cup? What do you get for this last cup? Hold on. Oh, yeah, no. Fuck that. Just this one's the last good one. And then once you win them, the rewards go down. But I think it's like 5 goals and then they end the game. So let's see if we can just score 5 real quick. But yeah, FC felt good there, Boom. I'm not going to lie, bro. How did it look? Did it look as sharp as it felt? Nothing feels as sharp as this every single game, though. Yeah, I know. Well, not the whole. He still showed he was insanely good. But, yeah, like with the celebrating, I didn't even think of that part of it. Damn. I didn't even think of that part. But hopefully they realize, like, I wouldn't have put it, not they, but, like, people watching, if I thought he was, like, a true rat, like, I know the circumstances of the game. But you could still see his monsters. Like, he still showed how good he was, but, like, going for my goalie when the goalie had the ball. Yeah, I probably like. And then when the goalie glitched out, because that's one of the glitches. Sometimes the goalie just freezes with the ball, and then celebrating, and then we were both forcing long through balls. But I was doing that too, because remember the argument at the time, which was dumb on my side, was like lofted through balls are fine because you can mark them. The funny thing is, since we both knew they were coming, we both did mark them pretty well that game. But and then my wording too. Obviously, I was very complimentary the whole time. That's just the only footage I had. He still scored some sick ass goals though, and then his movement and then defense was solid. Oh no, I said it in the video. I think too. I explained it like during the circumstances of the game, we were both like pushing some stuff to show our points on something that's broken. So it's not like. Some of it was that. Which you can kind of tell that. Some of the balls that were forced, some of the... Yeah, I was trying to force it at the end the whole time. Every time I got it, I was trying to force it. Now I'm doing no through balls, so it's not like I made myself look good and him look bad. If anything, we both kind of look. But I stated it in the video, like, mind you, we're trying to fucking force it. You could still see how beastly he was. Just the quick movements, dude. Like the perfect decision making. Was crazy. I didn't ask him about that too. I wonder if in his mind he's like, why did you show that game? He might be, dude. He might be. But people outside won't really know. If anything, they'll look at me like, bro, how many long through balls, you know? And not one of them worked, I don't think. But it kind of proved my point, which I don't want to make, by the way. Like, that's a terrible point because I don't want to see people just hoofing through balls. But if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Boomfoot, but every through ball, like say I did except for one, I think he stopped. And I think I stopped a few of his. His main goals were from other shit. But his point at the time when we were going back and forth at that exact time was about the areas where the game is broken, like where it needs to be improved. I don't know. I'll eventually get better clips. He definitely still showed why he's a beast player, though. He scored one like this, for instance. Oh, I didn't get it through. But I thought it was a good goal. It was a perfectly timed, like, small, like, chipped through ball, like, from a short area, and he buried it. It was sick. And I said it in there, like, he would probably say that was a bad goal, but I thought it was a beautiful goal. Like, the way he played it in. It wasn't like he hoofed it. It was like this. I'll show you. It was like if I do this right here. Like that. What? But it was exactly like that. How the attackers stand behind that player there is so silly, bro. But FC had that problem for the longest time. It took them forever to fix that. Penal. Damn, I did not realize this gave you these good rewards, this tournament. I would have already played this. I'm an idiot, bro. Reading, playing. I'm trying to finish this game off quick, and I'm making it drawn out by being an idiot. Pretty sure at 5 goals it ends it. Let's see. Let's just get 2 real quick. All I gotta do is just focus, stop reading and shit. Alright, 1 more. That should end it. Almost at the end of the game anyway, though, unfortunately. And they gotta fix those tacklebacks. Yep, got to the end of the game. Gotta love it. I know, Boom, for that was funny. That's okay, though. You didn't know. How are you supposed to know? It's not like he wouldn't agree with you. He would agree with you. I said it in the video, though. I made sure I explained, like, the circumstances of the video were... Or the circumstances of the game, we were both trying to show a point. But even with it, he was still a beast. Trying to end this real quick. I want to get my players fully upgrade. Some of those beast players. I love this upgrade system. It's sick. But I can't wait till they come up. They're just going to have to watch the power curve for full release so they don't let people upgrade too quick. And, you know, with repeatable, if you sit here all day and just play and play and play and play 100K, 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 I mean, you can fucking monster out your team pretty quick. Once you build up some players. Mother fudger. I'm an idiot, guys. There's a lot of players that rely on that stuff too. The tackle back type stuff. But you don't want to play like this heading into like a real game because you'll start getting bad habits. Falasso. Watch, usually I'll play this and then I'll get some shit out of it. Golazo. Penalty. Let's see if it goes over or anything. It's on the ground. I think it's still going to go in. Oh, no! Goals building the gameplay of FC PES and the team building of eFootball. Yeah, dude. And here's the thing. And then add some unique flavor to it too, which is cool. Oh. What a ball, what a ball. Yes, go. No! There it is. Hey, we'll take it. Come on, finish the game. I think if I score one more or two more, it's over. Let's see. I don't know, like, the stipulations behind it, but I think it ends the game, or I could be wrong. That's that zigzag Narf's talking about, or Coates is talking about, sorry. I don't know how people end up crossing these. Ah. You little prick. In the game, damn it. Maybe it's a 5-goal lead and I have to score one more. Let's see. These games go by a little quicker than the other games too, for sure. Nice tackle, damn. Son, where'd you find this? See, that would be like the equivalent of what their shoulder challenge is, but it kind of felt like FC went for that. Kind of felt like FC kind of copied off of where goals went to. Swear to God. Wouldn't be surprised, bro. Because Goals and Nick were making videos talking about Goals gets it. They've already done it. Boomfa, how do you think they'll make their money, though? If they're going to have to do, like, store packs, right? They have to, like, how are they going to make money? Sponsors? Like, how the fuck? How do you make money on these games as they stand? Is there a secret I don't know about? Like, I know eFootball makes their most money on the players they sell, clearly. All right. Oh my god, that whole thing, and I got one upgrade out of it, dude. That sucks. That sucks. So this is the only thing. Please be a beast. Please be a beast. Please be a beast. How many upgrades? How many upgrades? You mother trucker. 78 dribbling, 50, 89 passing. Terrible defense. Great passing. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 85, 86, 1. Yeah, see, there's a science behind this, though. I wish I knew it. Wish I knew it. Almost with the keeper. I'll be right back. All right, I think we got to do something here, boys. I don't know. I feel like we got to at this point. feel like we gotta go dive deeper into this because that freaking FC game felt too good, bro. I think it's gonna be Fortnite style too with kits and I know, and I think it's gonna be kind of dope. I like that idea. To make their money, I feel like that's what they're gonna do too. But here's where I'm at, dude. I can't leave FC when it felt good. I gotta be completely honest. And this should show people that I'm not just getting like fucking, I'm not just, oh, my cousin works for Goals or some shit. Like, why are you being so nice to Goals? It's like, because it's a great game and they're an alpha and they're kicking ass. Now, these cocksuckers always let people down. But what the hell, that felt good for a game. You know what I mean, guys? Nice, up the blue. You're using my UFL stuff and it's helping you. I love it, buddy. Hell yeah, bro. My pleasure. Dude, it's crazy how people will stumble across my old stuff in UFL, my old tactics and stuff, and it's still helping them out, dude. That's kind of dope. That's kind of dope, dude. You know, I'm not gonna lie. That's the whole reason I started this channel, bro, is for stuff like that. So that's cool. Man, I've had that ball a long time ago. That FC Pro ball. That's crazy. That's still like a reward. Nice. That's awesome. 12 wins, one draw, one loss only. For me, UFL is a broken ass game, dude. When was the last update? Oh, I remember the video, bro. I remember. When was the last update? For UFL. Because if there was another update, I'd show that again too, but I don't even remember putting Frimpong up for sale. That's hilarious. Today there was a big update? What did they update? They made an update today? Yeah, but they just introduced like a coaches and shit like that, right? It's not like... But what did they change gameplay-wise? Did they change anything gameplay-wise? You're welcome, bro. I'm glad it helped you. That means a lot to me. That's cool that it helped you like that, bro. I have that all the time. It's crazy. Dude, people will pull up my old ones from like... I'm talking a long time ago and say, dude, I use those tactics... Isn't that nuts, though, that there isn't any newer creators doing that? Like, trying to help people out? That's crazy. I gotta walk out. Watch it be like Mbappe, and it's not, obviously. I see. Is this fucking... Oh, it's a League of Portugal. Bro, it's funny, because that's like... This Nelson Oliveira is like... That's higher than all my current players because of when I quit the game, evolutions and stuff. I finished champs on I finished champs on rank 3, dude. It would be funny to almost go in this weekend and see what I would get just playing out of nowhere. But yeah, I need to know what they upgraded on the game. I don't know if you know or not. But I'm not playing just for a new legend. So all these are gold cards and you just get to pick. It's so weird, bro. Holy a million, bro. There. I'm not doing that for the rest of them. That's the only one I'm going to do. Let's read this. Let's see if they updated anything. Let's check this out. UFL News. UFL News. You have to put... So stupid they named it after American football soccer game. Let's see what we got here, boys. Machine. Oh. Alright. January game changers. I don't see any patch. Update notes. 7-1. So that's January 1st. Wait. 7. Wait. Yeah, January 7th. That's yesterday. Okay, let's read this. Forgot they do the dates differently. Fix the number of bugs and crashes. Just always general bullshit. So nothing worth playing. I can either play... Let's do a... There's FC Pro stuff. Let's do the... It's the last FC Pro Cup this month, or it might have just passed, or it's still going this week. 4-3-2-1. This is the former. This used to be meta. Now it's 5-4 or 4-5-1. You know what we're gonna go with? A 4-1-2-1-2 wide. Striker with Hunter. We'll go Sanchez and straight to center back. Some bullshit. What the hell? Wow. Zhao. Botch is always amazing. Ooh, Pickett looks really good though too. Pickett with a shadow is the one we want there. What kind of promo is this? Unbreakables? Let's go another striker. Let's see what we can get up here. Endrick. 91. Cristiano. Broken ass Cristiano, but I want to go Endrick probably, right? Yeah, we got to go Endrick. Socrates, Raquelme, nothing. Betty's probably the best, but you got to go Socrates here, dude. Nah, hold on. We're going Socrates. I probably should have went with a Betty, but... Another CB. Oh, man. I'm hurting in the CB area, boys. My 6. Zigiotti. Right mid, left mid. Yamal, eh? Left mid will go with Miyama is a monster, boys and girls. I had her early on. She is a dribbling beast with a hunter too. This Diaz was good. Schneider's obviously a beast for Cam. But you got to go Miyama. I think she can play Cam as well, can't she? CM. One of my 2 goalies. Oh, that's terrible. You want to pick them because you might need to pick one down the road if you don't get a good one. Oh, gosh, and I didn't get a good one. Pickford. All right. Let's see what we can get out of this. Francis. Play CB. Yep. CB. Ibanez, another good center back. Renard is a very good center back, but slower there. This Ibanez card will be sick for this draft for sure. Winter wild card. I remember in 22-23, winter wild card was like the best. That winner with FC. Good number 6 there. Marquisio. De Jong. Another Abedi. De Jong's OP as hell, but for CM, or I go with a good Cam like Schneider. Schneider's better than Socrates for sure. No, I'm going to keep Socrates, so just because he's so fun to use. Oh, Musiala, though. Isco, Nakata, Abedi. Abedi just keeps popping up. I'm crazy not to start Abedi. I'm still not going to, though. This Mariona's really good, too, though. I need a right back. And a left back, maybe? Yildiz. Woo! Boys. Hold on. Cruyff. Cam and striker. Jorginho can play Friamin and striker. Pettit, I already got my number 6. So Jorginho or Cruyff, what do you guys think? Cruyff's always a monster, dude, but gotta go Cruyff. Cruyff will start for Hendrick. Really, I should put Cruyff at probably Cam and then Abedi at, or maybe, I don't know. Damn, I got some options though. Jorginho's so sick. I get another throwback to 22, 23. Damn, I need a right back. Give me a right back. Give me a right back. Give me a right back. Mbappe. Well, Mbappe and Cruyff. Sanchez on the bench, coming off the bench. Zigiotti, can you play right back? No. Right back and goalies where I'm weak. All right. That's what we're going for, ladies and gentlemen. That's the squad. See how Gold Mbappe does. All right, so Inigo Perez. We'll set up the roles real quick. Go with counter. Highline 70, okay. Cruyff. False 9. Advance forward. Tack. Tack. Playmaker. Balance. Marquisio holding. Ball winning. Yamin. Side forward attack. Miyama. Side forward attack. Back balance. Back balance. Defender, defend, defender, defend. Sweeper, keeper, build up. Whatever, we'll do ball playing, build up. Alright. That's the squad. Let's see how we do in here. Definitely a better team overall. I have a better right back on my regular squad and keeper, obviously, with Khan, but see how these guys do. Plenty of subs we could use too. Let's see if this gameplay stays consistent. I'm not gonna lie, I had fun in that other game. Defense felt way better for sure. But FC is the king of letting people down. Letting people down. I packed Mbappe in 24. Was that 25? No, I packed Mbappe in 24. Packed him twice, believe it or not. Both untradeable, so he became my best player like 2 weeks into the game. I packed him, and then I packed him again like 3 weeks later, and he became my most expensive fodder ever. If it was tradable, would have changed the game for me, bro. He was like 1 point something mil. Or more than that, right? At the beginning, what is he worth? I forgot. We'll wear the blacks. All blacks. Mbappe and Pickett. Guess. I think this is 2v1, guys. I think I'm playing 2v1. Pretty sure I am. Zidane, Tchouaméni, Ronaldinho, Dembele, Henry, and Eto'o. Damn, I didn't even know you could get that Henry in the draft. That's the one that you could pack for buying the game early. That's cool that they put him in there, though. That's it. He's got a beast team. Yep, 2v1. No, wait. Yep, 2v1. Oh, this is going to be over quick, probably. I hate 2v1 in FC, bro. They have such an advantage. Oh, I forgot there's player lock in this, though. Oh, I thought I could get him on the outside. Oh, you little prick. You're in. Golazo Yamal. Great run. Advance forward attack. You gotta love it. I gotta move my line back, I think, though. Nice move. Boom. Good. Boom. Through. Nice. Good. Oh. Come on, Yamal. Come on, Yamal. Bullied. Oh, God. What was I gonna do there, eh? It all started with me getting bullied. Goodbye, Socrates. Oh! I burned him and I didn't realize. Oh, no, no, no. Almost. Oh, no, I forgot. It's not the same as... I took it like it was goals, guys. I'm an idiot. Oh, look at this asshole. Opponents will piss you off way more in FC, though. Good D. This definitely feels different than... Oh. Uh-oh. No! I read it right, but I just didn't mark it good. Good. Yes. Oh! Yes! What a ball! Offsides. Get in there. You little prick. Good job, keep. Thought I could catch him sleeping. The rust is real, guys. The rust is real. Oh! Oh, you almost screwed up there, buddy. Oh, dude, I should be smoking these guys. Rob. Yes. Yes. Yes, boys. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty nice goal. What do you guys think? Dude, did they fuck around and fix this game? I don't know. I feel some choppiness. Although usually the 2v1 games feel terrible. Whoops, no one was there. I don't know who I was passing to. Oh. That's how you stay calm and work the ball out, baby. Whoa! Wrong move, wrong move. Good read. Look at that. You're in. Oh, Bobster. Come on. Come on, Socrates. Run right through him. You're a beast. No way Chouamini's going to push you off. I mean, he's strong, but not as you. You're Socrates. Oh, no. Good. Oh. I'm going to read them. Watch this. Oh. It definitely feels closer to what it did at the early release, that's for sure. Damn, my dog's been chewing on my Nikes. My daughter's dog's been chewing on my Nikes. Ugh, what the fuck? Ugh. No. Good D. Ah. No way. You lucky little prick. Bounced off me. Oh my goodness, guys. Good D. This little tackle back little prick. Bravo. Ah, forced it. All I had to do was wait. He wasn't pressuring me at all. Of course. Little typical FC shit. Typical FC shit. Aw, you lucky little prick. Aw, damn it, he's through. He screwed that up. No way. How do these guys do that? Dude, he took out my player after I got it off the line. Yeah, that is why you choose goals. That's why you choose goals, though, boys. There's always something in the mix. Because in these games, there's too much other shit. Now, I know it's 2v1, so these dudes are pathetic as it is, but this is what you face in FC. There's always going to be these type of losers in these other games, and they just don't exist in goals because they can't. Maybe there's some alpha shit that they can do. Right? That was a fine goal, by the way. Maybe there's some alpha stuff that they can do, but it's just not good football. In goals, you don't get all the bullshit. You might say, oh, well, they have the animations that's sharper. Do you really want to play some dog shit players and lose to somebody who's going to use their Henry and R9 to rat and tackle back? You just got smoked, boy. I forgot how to do all the celebrations because I'm not a little rat. And that was way better than all of his goals, by the way. And it's 2v1. Now, I know they're probably like 10-year-old little kids from China. I get it because I'm just reading by the name. But I'm just saying that's what you face in goals. Right? Or sorry, that's what you face in FC. Oh, no way. No, they're getting their asses kicked. Come on, what the hell? What is that? Just like that, boys. Just like that. I'm rusty, but I didn't forget it all. Start celebrating like you ain't dog shit. Look, he just tried to run through me. He just tried to do the classic run through. You're in. No! You lucky little prick. It was a nice tackle, but... Bro. Terrible idea right there. Bobby, why would you stop your run? Ah, wrong player. Offsides, damn it. If I just calm down, I have this game won. Good block. Good picket. No! Guys, okay, so that's some FC shit. I know you guys saw that. That was some FC shit. Totally wrong player. Now I remember to pull the goalie out because I've been playing goals where you don't got to pull the goalie out. Of course. Then they score like that. If they actually did fix it, I could do an e-play. Dude, I wouldn't jump the gun, bro. I mean, there's always something. And it's like, there's too much bullshit. And then you got to look at the inconsistent gameplay and stuff. I mean, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, Goals is making the good move of not... Like that... Remember that one game I played? Now, that was before this latest patch. These guys are so bad. It's kind of embarrassing. But you could still... whether. Oh, my gosh. What was that? Screw this up and give me one more chance. Like he's going to lose the ball here. Watch. These idiots are going to lose the ball. See? Yes. Yes. No! I screwed it up. I'm an idiot. I had it too right there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now let's go play Goals and see what we think there. I feel like there's just too much other stuff, you know what I mean? I feel like there's too much, like, what would you call it? There's too much other crap that's outside of your control. Is how I feel. Straight into Goals so we can measure it right off the bat. And remember, this game doesn't even have all the attributes aren't, like, applied yet. It's going to keep sharpening up. There's only 3 skill moves in the game. But I like how they didn't add, like, the spin move. How many players really are spinning all the time, right? I want them to add where you can trigger players diagonally in different directions. I want them to increase the AI movement on the defense and offense, at least to the point where it's realistic, where if my player's hiding behind a defender, that's just not... They're going to check... They're going to be in front of there, and then maybe you have to manually call him too, but they can't be hidden back like that, you know? But it did feel a lot better than it was. You gotta remember, though, it was still very much bad connection, though. Like, not good, not great, not bad. Like, what the hell? Not good. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like I was playing and it felt as good as goals. There was still those choppy moments, but it was better than what it used to be. But you can't trick me with, like, Mbappe and all these players and expect me to come in and then have all that nonsense. Like, there's still the bullshit. And those players were very low level. So once you get a little bit higher, then you add in the rat nonsense. Like, that's where these other games will always frustrate you. The one where I won the corner kick, and then he just smash tackled me to win the ball. Like, that was planned. Like, you just throwing it in there to those lower level players. Like, you have those abilities. That you don't have that in goals. And in that sense, the simplification of goals is way better if you actually want to play football. But you go through a couple stages, right? You'll play goals for a while and you'll start really seeing the bad stuff in it. And then DeMarquis' point, he's like, I'm not comparing to those other games because they're trash. Why would you want to compare to a trash game? Just to be a good football game all around, they need XX next. That's a great point. That's a great way to be, to keep pushing the game. I get that. But on the other end of it, you don't want to just shit on the game, goals, because you got to see, remember all these other games. Like, look where we're coming from, dude. We're very fortunate that these guys took this path, because a lot of development companies don't get it, dude. They don't have real footballers in there to make these decisions. They just simply don't. Fan 1977793. All right, let's do it. Let's get in this mug. Let's play some goals. We're in our 3 back, of course. No, wrong player. Good angle, you're in. Oh, I thought that was on there. Good D. Ah. Good read. See, I love how you have to read everything yourself. Damn it. I shouldn't have forced that. Un cero. He's trying to play that over the top all the time. He left. Dude, he was a good player. Bro, he was a good player. Dude, so tell me within that little bit of time. Okay, well, I get it. I'm not playing Mbappe or Ronaldo or Ronaldinho, and I'm not doing 74 scissors and Zidane fucking doing a tackle back to score a goal. But tell me that I know you guys couldn't, like, literally, I gotta get overlays, bro. What do I do to get overlays? Like, they don't have them in the game yet. I bet you they will by full release. But what do I do, Boomfa, to get overlay? Because if you guys can see that I'm in control of everything. I had to control when he was going for those through balls. I had to make sure I switched to my right center back or he would have been through. I had to make sure, like, everything I was doing, I was controlling the runs. I was controlling. It's simplified, but in the best way possible because you're making the decisions. Hence why I came up off that bullshit about the lofted through balls, because that takes away the essence of what goals is, which is pure football. Managers don't tell you the best thing to do is put the ball in the air where it's a 50-50 ball typically. Yeah, if you have a clean lofted through ball, you're in on goal, you're going to play it. But the way that the game was turning into with what I was preaching as well is like, send those through balls, send them. Now, some players, they don't see their options. They might have an option, they loft through balls, but they aren't as skilled, so they don't see those, right? That's way different than, like, send striker, through ball, send striker, or same with, like, spamming crosses, like, no matter what you do. But for the most part, goals, passing and moving, playing football, creating your chances, right? And that player was a pretty damn good player, dude. I wish he didn't quit. If goals is a 10, FC would be like a 7. That version that I just played would probably be like an 8.5 or an 8. Reason why is because they took away a lot of bullshit. Remember, you're coming from a meta where you got rewarded for not controlling your defenders, right? They copied off of goals, I'm pretty sure, by taking away, because the shoulder challenge is non-existent. So who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about it. Maybe there's a reason these games, maybe it ruins. I don't like the old shoulder challenge in FC where, especially if you had Anticipate Plus, you could be 10 yards away, but when you're converging on the same, like, running lane, and then you want to throw your weight in there to kind of nudge the attacker out of the lane so you can get in the lane and take the ball. You see what I'm saying? Ball's in front of two players, attackers running onto it, defender comes from the side, puts their shoulder and pushes them off. They go into the lane and take the ball. Before, if you had Anticipate Plus, you could be like 10 yards away and you would press X and your player would lock on the ball, push the attacker off, and you'd win the ball. So that's stupid too. But the good part of goals is that what you'll notice is every decision. So, like, as I'm receiving a ball, then I'm sending my player on a run. You see what I mean? Like, as I'm receiving a ball, I'm sending my player. And then not only that, but as I'm receiving a ball, I recognize that my, like, winger, I'll show you. Actually, screw this. This is where I'll show you. Because I'll have gameplay to, like, back this up. Hold on. All right. So right now, let me get 11 players on here. So that's 3 keepers here. I'll have it in black. 4. Wait. Eight, 9, 10. So I'm in a 3-5-2, right? So I got this. I got the two wingers. I got my... We'll even do it by numbers. 6. Got my 9 here. Something like this, guys, right? That's how I'm lined up. Okay? Keeper, 3 center backs. I don't know if you can see my cursor or not. Can you see my cursor, Boomfa, or no? Yeah, that's exactly that's the difference. Marky on the phone was like, I'm not compared to anything. A game that would be the best game ever, exactly. Which is a good mindset to have because look, he's a #1 player. Like his mindset makes sense. So having those people around is not bad. I don't necessarily agree with everything he said, but that's a winner's mindset. You can't say it's not a winner's mindset. All right, so 3 backs. I got my number 6. I got these 2. That's the difference. A lot of people would play these 2 wide CMs back, this one up. For one, I like their availability to do that because in the FC 3-5-2, you don't have that. You have like your 2 CMs, your CDM, they're all set, right? And then you have a cam. I think it's like a... Get out of here. I don't care about this. It's like 3... Yeah, it's like 2 CDMs and a CM or whatever. 2 CMs and a cam, I think. But whatever. This is how I have it set up. Okay, and then where's the ball at? Here's the ball. So, the difference is, in FC, they have a bunch of goofy shit. So I like how, if I have the ball with my winger here, I like how I can trigger this player not just here, or not just, like, it's either to or from. So they'll either send them like this, or you'll send them coming back. I don't think they come at the player with the ball. Let me think about this. So you trigger them on a run. R1, they go straight forward. L1. Yeah, L1, they do come to the ball. Yep, so wait, I just realized that. Did you guys realize that? So if I have the ball with my left winger, number 7, and I'm playing to my number 10, my striker, this number 10, but my striker, obviously. You see what I'm saying? But this number 10, if I call this player 2, they go like this, towards the ball. They don't go back, which makes sense. If I send them on a run, though, they don't go like this away from the ball. They always go forward. So when you're sending a player R1, it's always forward, okay? When you're calling a player 2 with L1, they're going whichever the direction the ball's in. L1 right here would be here. Right? If the ball is here, L1 would be here, coming back to it. Whereas R1, no matter what, it doesn't change. The ball could be way over here. And my number 10, if I send with R1, still going straight forward towards the goal. Right? Ball's right here. The L1 changes where it's coming to, but going away is always straight line. What I want them to make it is to where, let's say I'm playing a number 9 now. I want to be able to do, instead of just running straight away, I want to be able to press R1 flick right, real quick. R1 flick right, and I could do an angle like this, or like this. Because once you could do that, you could do something like this. Right? You get the ball from number 3, here, right? And then you hold R1 towards this direction. As you're receiving this ball, you hold R1 and flick at this direction. So now 3 is going, my winger is going angled towards here. But as they're running up, you then receive the ball here, Okay? And now remember, they're running from deep, so they're running from here. You look at number 9, you press R1 and trigger them here. Or here. Right? Because if you trigger them here, their defender might intercept that run on accident for number 3. So you trigger them away. And now, you act like you're going towards number 9. 3's running through. Boom, you play 3 in. So it just matches perfectly with goals. Right? Because right now, just being able to R1 send a player straight forward, my number 3 would be way out here. I'd want him to go diagonal towards goal. So that makes a difference. Now, on the other end, the cheesy stuff, which no one who likes true football likes, player lock. Unfortunately, with some of the AI movement being dead in FC and right now in goals too, people would say player lock is necessary, but it's so silly because let's say you call player 2 with L1, okay, they come 2. You send them on a run, straight. Or in FC, you can go diagonal. Right? In goals, it's just forward or towards the ball with L1. Player lock, you start getting runs like this. It's not realistic at all, right? Your player's moving all around. And the defense, unless you mainly control one defender chasing this player around, you can't do nothing about it. And it's silly. Because players don't make those type of goofy runs. It's similar to goalie movement. Goalie movement in football games, right? If I'm on a breakaway here, this keeper is going to come out, close down the angle, right, and try to make it where I can't slot it near post, but they're going to get big so they can try to stop me from sliding it in to the far post, right? What happens in FC is you beat the keeper or eFootball 2, and the goalkeeper does this. Sorry, I don't have a goalkeeper. That's another ball. I'll put a goalkeeper in the red one. All right, and the goalkeeper, instead of coming out getting big, maybe stopping here, maybe trying to stop you from near post, right? A user will pull that goalie out and just go boom, or pull that goalkeeper out and go boom. And then if there's some delay or whatever, you might have already chose your shot. Luckily in FC, you can change it pretty much to the last second. But especially in eFootball, it's stupid. Because after you get burned defensively, your goalie has like a 50-50 chance. Guess left, guess right. Guess left, guess right. And that's not a real goalkeeper movement. They're going to try to make sure you can't slip it near post, get big to try to stop this shot, and do their best. They're not just going to go boom, 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 across the line, hoping they guess right. Dumb. Same with player lock. It's dumb. So, if goals keeps with their movement now, so be it. It's better than not being able to trigger runs and letting AI do everything like eFootball, which is stupid. So that's where UFL and FC got it right, and now goals. But where FC got it one step further is you have to make it where when players come to the ball, you can call them to, but at an angle. Right? You can press L1, flick the right stick here, instead of coming to the ball like this, right? Say your 2 has the ball, they'll be here and they'll come to the ball like this. Or they'll come to the ball like this. Or when you send them on a run, they'll run this way. Or they'll run that way. Or they'll run at an angle but forward, instead of just whoop or 10's whoop. It's either to the ball or it's whoop. Maybe you want it to the ball over here. Then you play that ball at a trail, and then you as the ball's coming here, you look at number 9 and send him on a run here. Boop. I don't know, I'm making shit up, but you get what I'm saying. So if they make that available, that would be huge. Now, the reason why I wanted the shoulder challenge, I can show you that real quick too. Let's pretend number 1's a field player now. Let's pretend number 2's on a breakaway here, and number 2 catches up, but they're here. Right now, while the ball's in the player is moving, the stand tackle isn't viable because you stop your forward momentum. You press that stand tackle and you either could take the player out or you might miss the lunge. They might shield it, and then you stop moving and you ain't catching back up. Now you go to lunge and get the ball. They press shield. You don't get it. Now they're way up here, and you're just getting moving again. You're screwed. Right? Slide tackle, as you know, can get you a red card. So, what if there's a challenge where you press X, the higher the stat, the more the ground they can cover, meaning if they're like a yard away from you and they have low shoulder challenge, they don't have a prayer. But if they have high shoulder challenge, they'll get low to the ground and get in there, right? But then their strength and aggression should play a factor as to versus your strength and balance, and their balance too. Whatever they come up with, they're way smarter than me with what they would come up with. And then they have a duel, right? They have a duel to see who is going to overtake that lane and take the ball. I hope they do that and the player change. Now, we did a form earlier where you could pick one thing. I picked the shoulder challenge because there's a lot of times in defense where it happens. And same with the interceptions. As much as what they read on the attribute screen, like what Cord was pointing out was good. First of all, on one of his goals in our today's game, my defender, like that's what Narf was saying, it looked like he should have blocked it. But then yesterday with my through balls, there were several where it was like right by his player that looked like it should have been intercepted. So I think they need to work on that to make that more accurate. Or at least maybe it was just looking like that, just like when a player's holding shield and they run by your tackle and it looks like the tackle just didn't do anything, but really it was a shield button. It just doesn't show as good. The animation on the player doesn't show you exactly what's going on in the best way. So it looks a little off, even though the players are doing what they should. The shield button's working how it should. I think they do need to address that and how like powerful it is when you're running with shield. I think they do a little, but for the most part, this game's incredible. Where players are having problems, like with the AI movement, is we'll put two defenders out here. Let's say my strikers are right here next to these two defenders. There's another defender here. Say I have the ball here. Okay? They'll just kind of jog in this area, not opening up. This player will kind of be hidden over here, stay here, and you're dribbling and playing. And you don't want to send that player through. You can call him too, right? But when you're moving the ball around, your fast pace, you're moving, your team should be generally in the right area. Like, when you have the ball over here, your attacker isn't just going to be standing right here. They'll probably get in somewhere in here, and this attacker would probably be somewhere in here. Then, of course, the defense adjusts and follows, and it's a constant movement. They'll get to the point where they're kind of standing around. So by the time you get the ball in these areas and you need to make a quick decision, you just have no movement at all. To be able to trigger your players on the right run manually, you do need a little bit of help from the AI at least. Like, I don't want them to overpower it to where like you didn't trigger anything, you got the ball here, and all of a sudden this player runs in here to draw this defender out, and this player, boom, and you didn't do nothing. They did it on their own. Do I want that? No. But I also don't want my number 10 hiding right here and my number 2 just standing there and maybe even standing off sides, right? They got to get better with that. And then once this player does move, this defender shouldn't just be standing over here like, oh, well, they should follow them. Like, your AI should move at least at the foundational level like players would in a game. Then, when you go further than that, that's where I believe it should be full manual. So, that's my point that I'm trying to make with goals, but it's still way better because there is no player lock. There is no goalkeeper movement. There's consistent gameplay, right? When you're playing goals, you know that you're making the decisions. I'm not saying there aren't, those tacklebacks do get annoying. There's some stuff in goals that gets annoying. They're going to sharpen up a lot. I'm not going to be naive enough to say by full release it's perfect. You know, I know before I've said 1,000% of that rat stuff will be gone. I still stand by that. I don't believe, because of how simple the ratty stuff is to fix, I don't believe that come full release, you'll be able to just spam crosses and your attacker scores a vast majority no matter what. I don't believe that you'll be able to just hoof through balls the whole game and find good success. hoof through balls off kickoffs, hoof through balls, hoof. Which, unfortunately for me, like, not my proudest moment, but I was showcasing that more than I would have wanted because I got tunnel vision in that war mode. But the truth is, keep the ball on the ground, you play good football. Even with the lack of attacking AI being not where it needs to be, you can still do some great stuff. And these top guys are perfect examples. They show that well. So, in my opinion, playing all these games, especially with the rip-off mentality, you know, having seen all these top players, see how good they are, what they can really push this game to do, see what this game's capable of, then to talk to different devs, like, shout out to guys like, you know, I'm going to say it wrong, but Dingo Lima, or Lima Dingo, whatever. The community manager is great. Now, what I don't know is he just I don't know, is he a devs? Is he a goals employee? Is he just a volunteer? Whichever way, he's awesome. Niren's cool. That was a misunderstanding with him. He's a great guy. Great player, clearly. Look at his rank, top like 4 or 5 in the world. But then you got the actual devs. Claudio, which I heard from that Marceau's video, right? The one that I clipped down and made, which if you haven't checked out that video with Kurt that Marceau was gracious enough to let me use, it's pretty cool, man. I was pretty happy. It's funny, especially if you know Kurt, so check that out. But you also get to see these little glimpses of the Goals HQ, and they got some of the best devs in these different areas, right? One of which is this animations engineer named Claudio, who's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. And this guy was taking time to just talk, bro. Like, dude, legit about just general football, general stuff. It's crazy, dude. He's talking about what he does when he gets overwhelmed. Like, these guys are the best. They're not on some kind of high horse. Imagine, Boomfa, when we wanted all the fixes in UFL or eFootball or when I was at UFL or any of them. None of these guys ever said shit. They're too busy worried about, like, oh, if we pay Nick Runs a Foot Market to play our game one day and give him packs, we can bait people into buying packs. If we get this random dude we saw yesterday, 180K subs, give him a bunch of UFL packs to try to bait people in. Like, it's all this fake money grab rip-off BS, whereas Goals is pure football for the players, by actual football gamers, and by great devs that not only are the best in their fields, but they truly care. Right? So, I just wanted to end it on that. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Big shout out to Boomfa, man. You're always awesome, dude. Thanks for all the feedback. Hopefully you guys learned your lesson, bro. Like, I'm not saying FC didn't improve. I'm not saying eFootball doesn't have its redeeming qualities, but Smart Assist still disqualifies in my book. I'm not saying UFL doesn't have some fun stuff. It's a very fun joke of a game, and I say that sincerely, not being a jerk. It's a fun joke of football, like all the goofy ability perks, their version of playstyles, like the glitches that are still in the game. It's laughable, but then you can have fun in there. So if that's you, go ahead. But if you want to have fun, but also play great football, also be in control of the decisions, feel rewarded when you win, when you lose, be able to point to stuff you can work on, not point to some glitch that you got beat by or some AI bullshit or animation that players spam or whatever, then play Goals. It's as simple as that. So with that said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.